Okay, firstly, I just want it to be known that I am legitimately ashamed for having watched this movie, and this is coming from someone who's seen 5 Asylum films. But I decided to watch this because Rik Mayall's in it, and I really fancy him.
Bloody cattle prod! If you want to hear shouting, matey, this is it!
You stop wibbling on like some kind of girl who's trying to have a period.
I don't know why. Anyway, so this is Merlin the Return, directed by Paul Matthews, released in the year 2000. And just to give you some idea of what we're getting into here, the movie starts out with some explanatory text, which doesn't actually explain much of anything. Basically though, Mordred is in the Netherworld, Arthur is supposed to be in some kind of sleep, and Merlin is waiting around for something to happen. But the movie isn't actually about what's happened up to this point, because that might have made some kind of logical story sense. Instead, the plot focuses around Dr. Maxwell, who's found a way to communicate with Mordred through a local psychic. Just like many rational scientists would do. Mordred and Maxwell have a deal. She releases him from the Netherworld so he can take over the world, and she gets to do all the science she wants. Meanwhile, welcome to the Netherworld, where apparently Guinevere is also trapped, and where Merlin can just wander in whenever he wants, and Mordred can be duped just by tripping him, and so can his mom, and actually Guinevere can go wherever she wants to, and Lancelot is here, and there are water slides. I'm only 6.5 minutes into this movie. But anyway, in the real world, present day, we meet Richie, who's just moved to England with his mom. He's a punk and a rebel, man. Just look how he talks back to his mom.
Everything okay, honey?
Yeah, great.
Aw, jeez. He's worried about not making friends. So I guess it's lucky for him the only other kid in the village decides he's cool. This is Kate, the psychic's daughter. She too has a wicked attitude.
Hi, Kate. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Kate!
Then this happens.
Young beast is large.
Aye, sire, and strong.
Strong, but slow.
The beast didn't feel a thing. It just kept going.
I think we better go.
Okay.
Turns out Arthur's awake. I should probably mention that Rick's been running around without any trousers for the past few scenes also. So it's exposition time back at Merlin's house, where Arthur doesn't know how to eat a banana. And, I'm sorry. I got distracted by Rick's hair. But anyway, we get a flashback in an attempt to explain what the hell is going on. Arthur is dying while Mordred attacks Stonehenge, and Rick tries really hard to act.
You hold Merlin. No! They come!
There's an awkward moment where Arthur finds out that Guinevere has been sleeping with Lancelot, and somehow that allowed Mordred to get Excalibur? But Lancelot then grabs Excalibur, because none of Mordred's people feel like stopping him, I guess. And then that somehow sends them to the Netherworld? But I don't know why that takes him and Guinevere there, but not Arthur and Merlin. But I don't know why it stops Arthur from dying, or why he's awake now, or how... Meanwhile, at Super Science-y headquarters, science is happening. But Maxwell decides she needs another session with Mordred. Richie and Kate walk in on this, and instead of being horrified or worried about her mom, Kate decides they had better just jump right into the trunk of Maxwell's car and find out what's up. Also, Mordred and his mom are...
All right, my pet. We'll soon be at your rooms.
close. Okay, alright. Hang on. So it's been 1500 years, and Mordred hasn't thought to lock up Guinevere or Lancelot? I mean, Jesus, they foiled his evil plans earlier by tripping him. Why do they get to just wander around? Meanwhile, Arthur's men have found a picturesque rock to stand on, and Merlin tells Arthur he has to jump into this lake, to go get Excalibur, which is still in the Netherworld.
Gawain.
You go first. But instead of sending, you know, his whole army to retrieve the sword, they send Arthur on his own, because it's not like an army would be helpful in that situation anyway. Ah, look at Rik, though. At the lab, the children have gotten into the ventilation shafts, and...
We'll talk about it then. Get the rotors sorted out. Right.
And nobody notices. Nor does anyone notice Guinevere and Lancelot on the other side, just waiting around to fuck shit up. But anyway, the kids thwart Maxwell's plans with a fire hose because scientists just aren't equipped to deal with that sort of thing. And neither are evil sorcerers. You guys, stop. I feel like I should mention Guinevere's hair a bit, because I think they were going for golden curls, but someone just went too far.
Maybe Arthur will.
I'm afraid Arthur isn't here.
He's not.
No. He went to get Excalibur.
You mean I've come in to warn him about Mordred, and he's gone in to get the sword?
Yes, well done, movie. You're pointing out the flaws in your own writing. Well, anyway, Mordred and his mom sacrifice a bunch of people and send their ghosts through a crack in the portal. The ghosts then possess pretty much everyone in town, plus 2 of Arthur's men. Because, I mean, why possess the whole army when you can just go possess a bunch of old people, you know? Meanwhile, Merlin sees them and doesn't do shit. And apparently, this is all a ploy to kidnap the children, because who better to carry out your evil plans than a couple of 12-year-olds, right? Mordred offers Richie an ultimatum. Kill Merlin or his mom gets it. I have to give props to the guy playing Mordred, though, because he's clearly just enjoying himself.
I would love to teach you about never, but I haven't the time. That's a joke, Richie. My God, don't you get anything? Time. Never? I just want you to kill Merlin.
Maxwell gives Richie a barcode scanner that will kill Merlin because it has something to do with the Earth's magnetic poles, which also controls Merlin's powers and... This is why you don't get children to do your evil bidding. Meanwhile, this entire time, Arthur has been wandering blindly through the Netherworld without a single person noticing. Then he and Lancelot bro it out over Guinevere because clearly that is the most pressing issue at the moment.
You were my friend.
I'm sorry.
Sorry?
What follows is some of the saddest sword fighting I've ever seen.
Yes.
Sorry?
That one literally went donk.
Great! We'll soon be free.
And force the brat to kill Merlin.
Precisely.
Oh, you guys, stop. Alright, so the army is sitting around, And Merlin says this.
We have to find Mordred.
But they know where he is. Merlin was there at the very beginning of the movie. He chucked Arthur in there himself later. What is the confusion here?
Merlin!
Oh, god damn it. The possessed men suddenly decide to attack Guinevere because, well, why not? And then my favorite bit happens. You know, that arm wound might have been avoided if you just had chainmail on both arms.
Rouse the camp!
At Stonehenge, Maxwell plugs a bunch of computers into the rocks because that's how science works. Kate's mom tries to understand Maxwell's plans and...
We have a deal. I'm a scientist. Mordred will give me free rein with my research and all the help I'll need for my experiments. Soon I'll be free of all the small-minded fools who think science should be controlled by rules.
I just don't know what to say anymore. Back at Merlin's house.
I keep a pipe, but I never smoke it.
Okay. Essentially, Merlin implies that he knows what Richie is up to with the barcode scanner.
Like you, Richie, I will have a choice to make. But now, I think we will both make the right one.
I choose to read that as a death threat. That night, Maxwell opens up the portal and everyone just stands there and watches. It turns out Maxwell has another barcode scanner, which she intends to use against Mordred if something goes wrong, I think. Which leads me to wonder why she didn't kill Merlin herself. You know, I don't know why I'm questioning the logic in this movie anymore. Oh, no, they did the thing. Oh, God. Why? I thought this was a family film. Oh, God. You know how science is supposed to be about observing the world around you? These are the worst fucking scientists. Rick, stop. Basically, everyone just dicks around when they could be, I don't know, destroying the equipment, until the kid eventually realizes he can use the barcode scanner on Mordred. Then in the Netherworld, Arthur finally gets Excalibur, which closes the portal for some reason, but still brings Lancelot with him. Whatever, this movie's almost over. So the day is saved, and Arthur and his people are going to go back to their own realm, and Richie gets knighted despite being completely useless, and Lancelot decides to stay because it would be way too awkward hanging out with Guinevere and Arthur after the whole adultery thing. And no. Movie, don't.
Don't worry. We're going to have lots of fun.
No. Oh my god. Are you really gonna end on that? No, please.
What are we going to do? I don't know.